Just going about fitting this front cowl. Just trying to get it to sit where it's meant to. Just trimming a bit as we go. So it's just spot welded there and on that tab there, and then you plug weld the whole way along. So I've just got that trimmed in, so it's fitting fairly well. It's got to be welded in. There's quite a bit of overhang supplied, so I've described along that line. I'll cut it off. So both sides are fitting fairly well. I'll trim that excess and I'll drill some holes along there for plug welding. So I've just gone through and drilled some holes all the way across. I've cut that lip off. So I'll clean all that up, back to metal, put some spray, some weld through primer on that. The bonnet sits down at the front, but once I get this tacked off, I'll have to bend it up and that should get it to line up properly. Righto. I'll just prep this up with some weld through primer. I just coated the whole underside of it, gave it a good rub back and a bit of extra paint under there. And then I'm about to weld it on. So I've got that all welded in. I'm not real happy with how big these rounds are. I'm actually going to bare metal this and add some weld to it and tighten that radius up a bit to make it look a bit nicer when the guard mounts up to it. That was sitting down a fair bit too. I had to bend that up to get it sitting level with the bonnet, or flush with the bonnet. Not too bad. Not the greatest bits either though, those rare spares ones. Now I've made a bit of a decision. I'm going to have to undo a bit of work. I'm not happy with these big rounds. This is pretty much flat. These are horrible. The windscreen wiper cutouts. It's just on the proper one. It's got a nice sharp crisp edge. So I'm going to actually cut that out. I'm going to retain this back section. I'm going to use this other one. As you can see, the edges are beautiful there. They're nicely defined, those cutouts. They've got a better shape to them. So yeah, I'm just going to cut along this back edge and weld it in where the guard marries up in here. On the other one, the rounds, it's going to look terrible. So it's a bit more work, but it's going to look better. We'll see how we go with that. I'll just bare metal this, put it in deoxidine. A lot nicer than the replacement panel, so I'll get that on the car. I'll get epoxy on it first and I'll get it on the car. Put that in epoxy in here, so I'll get it fitted to the car once this dries. So I've cut all that out, sort of back to square one really, but it'll be a lot better, I think. So it's on. I've just cleaned up that metal, ready to weld it on. Should be good to go very shortly. So I've got that stitched in, well, not completely stitched in, but it's tacked in. That's such a better look with that tighter radius. Much nicer gap when the guard marries up against here. Just got to weld all this in here, clean all this up, plug weld through here and in here, and that's pretty much done. So I've got that all welded in now. Tidy her up, put an epoxy, it'll be good. Much better with that tight radius. And even this little gutter is so much nicer. Well worth the extra work, I think. So that's it all ground up. Got some dioxidine on it. I'll clean the rest of it up and I'll get that all in epoxy as well. So she's all stripped back to bare metal. I've deoxidined it. Just fixed up a few little things in the engine bay while I was at it. I'll get them back in some primer. But that's come out pretty good. You wouldn't even know it, I reckon, if that's been joined. It's so much nicer. Well worth the extra effort. Alright, I'll get in primer and I'll show you when it's finished. So that's all on epoxy now. Somewhat of a relief. That's everything done on the shell. All the rust work anyway, I should say. And then I've just got some other tidbits out here. Straps for the fuel tank. And the bar brackets. So she's getting there. Anyway, I'll end this video here.